Hi, welcome to the fourth and final class in our beginner series. As in the previous classes, you'll need a blanket. That's what I'm sitting on, remembering that a big thick towel will work as well. And a couple of blocks may be handy. And we'll also do a few balancing poses, so you may want either space at the wall or a chair or countertop to hang on to. All right, today we're going to start lying down on our back. So go ahead and lie down onto your back. And then get comfortable. Start in a resting position, whatever that means for you. So that could be Shavasana, where your arms and legs are extended. You could use your props underneath you, maybe a blanket under your legs or under your head. Or feel free to bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet flat to the mat. And then here, see if you can completely surrender any effort, any tension in your body down into the support of the floor underneath you. And as you surrender any tension in your body, let's also work to surrender or let go of any tension, for lack of a better word, in your mind. You may find that your thoughts are racing, or maybe you're having a hard time staying present. Or maybe it was just a struggle to get here to your mat to start the class to begin with. And so, or maybe you feel great. So just acknowledge first whatever it is that you're experiencing. The yoga tradition teaches us that there is a connection between our breath and our thoughts. So that when our breath becomes slower and more calm, we often will find that our thoughts will respond, that they'll begin to slow down, to become a little less frantic, and to become a little more focused. And that teaching also tells us that by bringing our attention to our breath, it helps anchor our thoughts here in the present moment. It helps us focus on what's going on right now rather than planning a grocery list or thinking about what we're going to do the rest of the day. So take these first few moments here to just focus on your breath. There's no need to change it right now. Just notice, are you breathing in and out of your nose or your mouth? Does your breath feel short and shallow, or deep and calm, or somewhere in between? And even begin to notice the movement of your body with your breath. Maybe you feel your belly and your chest rise and fall. Or maybe you feel the sometimes more subtle movements of the sides of your body and the back of your body expanding and contracting as you breathe. And then over the next couple of moments, let your breath slowly and gently begin to deepen. And let yourself consciously settle on a breath that does feel deeper, more full, maybe a little slower than when you first laid down. But doesn't take a lot of effort. This is your effortless deep breath. Notice any changes to how the breath feels as it moves in and out of your nose or your mouth. Notice any changes in the movement of your body with your breath. Maybe notice that it's a little easier to prevent your mind from wandering if you give your mind something to focus on, like the breath. And so we're letting our breath become an anchor for our consciousness here in the present moment. And so this becomes a tool that you can use throughout your practice, or really anytime during your day. If you notice your mind is starting to wander, just recognize it, have compassion for yourself, and then bring your awareness, your attention back to your breath, finding this full, deep, slow, easeful breath. And then see if over the next few moments and the next few poses, you can keep your awareness focused on your breath. And bend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet flat to the mat and hug both knees into your chest and add some movement. So you could swing your knees side to side, or rock side to side, or front to back, or swing your legs around in circles. Keep your right knee hugging into your chest and lower your left foot to the mat. Just squeeze your right knee in. And then begin to add some movement here. You could roll through your right ankle, or maybe take your right leg a little wider to the right, or maybe across your body to the left, or maybe swing your leg in circles. And our minds like to seize the opportunity when we begin to bring a little movement in our body to kind of take over and let our thoughts run wild again. So if you've lost the connection to your breath, it's no big deal. Just bring your awareness back to your breath, a full, deep, easeful breath. Good. Then keep your knee bent, your right knee bent, clasp your hands behind your right thigh and press your right leg away from you. You can stay here with your right leg bent, or very slowly begin to straighten your right leg. It does not have to get all the way straight, so straighten it only to the degree that feels good in your body. Then bend your right knee, cross your right ankle over your left knee, and you can stay here or hug your legs in closer. If your left foot is off the mat, gently release it down to the mat, but keep your legs crossed. Spread your arms wide like a T and tip your legs over to the left so that your right foot comes to or towards the ground on the left side of your mat. Bring your legs back to center. Keep them crossed. Walk your left foot wider to the left, and now lower your legs to the right. And if this feels too intense, go ahead and lower your right foot down to the ground. Bring your legs back to center, uncross them again, hug both knees into your chest, add some movement. Okay, then keep your left knee hugging in, lower your right foot to the mat. First, just squeeze your left knee in towards your chest. You can hold the front of your left shin or even behind your thigh if that feels more comfortable. And then add some movement, maybe rolling through your left ankle, maybe take your left knee wide to the left or cross your body to the right, or even swing your left leg in circles. Great, then clasp your hands behind your left thigh. Keep your knee bent first and press your thigh away from you until your arms are straight. You can stay there or slowly begin to straighten your left leg to any degree, remembering that it does not have to get all the way straight. Rebend your left knee, cross your left ankle over your right knee, and either stay here or hug your legs in closer. Keep your legs crossed. Lower your right foot to the mat if it was lifted, and then twist. Tip your legs over to the right until your left foot comes to or towards the ground on the right side of your mat. Bring your legs back to center, keep them crossed. Walk your right foot wider to the right and lower your knees to the left, remembering that you can lower your left foot to the ground if this feels like too much for your body. Bringing your legs back to center, uncross them. Plant your feet flat on the mat and bring your arms to your sides. Then moving just your arms, inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, lower your arms back to your sides. 2 more times. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, lower your arms back to your sides. 1 more time. Inhale, sweep your arms up and over. Exhale, release your arms back to your sides. Good, let's add our hips. So inhale, lift your hips, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, lower your arms, lower your hips. Again, inhale, sweep your arms up, lift your hips. Exhale, release them all the way back down. And once more, inhale, lift up, reach overhead. And exhale, lower all the way back down. All right, great. Now, pull your knees back into your chest 1 more time. This time, we're going to do happy baby. So you have some choices. First, take your knees wide. The first option is to hold your thighs behind your knees and then take the soles of your feet up to the sky. Your next option is to take your hands a little higher up to your ankles. And then your last option is to grab either your big toes or the outer edges of your feet, with the soles of your feet pressing up towards the sky and your knees pulling down towards the outer edges of your torso, your upper body. Feel free to add some movement. It's a happy baby. Think about how a baby plays with its feet to kind of get an idea of the overall shape. Great. Release, hug your knees into your chest, and then carefully roll to one side. And press yourself up to seated. Okay, we're gonna make our way to child's pose. So grab your blanket if you like to use that for padding under your knees. And come to a tabletop position, kneeling on your blanket. Bring your big toes to touch, walk your knees wide, lift your chin. Bring your hips back towards your heels. Keep lifting your chin. Like we did last time, press down with your hands. Press the ground away from you to anchor your hips. Tone your belly back. Walk your hands forward and lower your forehead down to the ground or to a block. Now walk your hands over to the right side until you feel a stretch along your left side. Walk your hands back through center and over to the left. And then walk your hands back to center. Let's take just a couple breaths here. And then rise up to tabletop. All right, let's set this up like we did last week. Look down at your hands. Find that crease in your wrist between your forearm and your hand. Line it up parallel to the front edge of your mat. Then line your middle finger up with your outer shoulder. Pinky fingers will probably be close to the outer edges of your mat. Bring some space between your fingers. Then as you inhale, drop your belly, lift your chin, look up, cow pose. Exhale, round your back, release your head and neck down for cat. Do that a few more times with your breath. This is feeling good. Stay with this. If you'd like to add some different movement, please feel free. You could swing your hips in circles, side to side, front to back. This is your time to move in any way that feels good for your body. Great. Take 2 more breaths. Come back to center. Then walk your knees back behind your hips a couple inches. Shift your hips forward. So your shoulders are over your wrists, and there's a nice long line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. Make the back of your neck long so you're looking out in front of your fingertips, maybe about a foot. Tone your belly, press the ground away from you. This is a half plank pose position. Good. Slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Okay. Reach your arms along your sides, palms face up. Let's take just a couple breaths here. All right. Bring your forehead to the mat. Sorry. Press the tops of your feet firmly down. Press your fingernails lightly into the mat. Lift your shoulders up away from the mat. Lift your head and chest up away from the mat. Take a couple breaths here. Work to really squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other on your back. Lift your shoulders towards the sky. And exhale, release back down. Good. Okay, let's do that one more time. Bring your forehead to the mat. Press the tops of your feet down. Lift your shoulders. Lift your head and chest up. Keep the tops of your feet pressing down so your legs are strong. Squeeze your shoulders towards the sky. And exhale, release. All right, prop yourself up onto your forearms so that your elbows are underneath your shoulders and your wrists are in front of your elbows. Then make your legs strong. Press the tops of your feet, your toenails down. Press your forearms down, lift your chest up, and even roll your shoulders back towards your heels a little bit. Great. Keep your chest lifting. Fold your right forearm in front of you and bend your left knee. This may be enough and you can stay here. Or reach back, grab your left foot, and pull it in closer towards your hip. And release. Fold your left forearm in front of you. Bend your right knee. You can stay there. Or reach back, grab your right foot, and pull your right heel in closer. And then release. Lower your forehead down to the mat. Place your palms flat on the mat alongside your chest. We're going to do a few cobra poses. For this first one, I'm going to ask you to hover your hands so that you're just using your upper back muscles. Okay, let's do it. Press the tops of your feet down. Lift your shoulders up away from the ground. Hover your hands off the mat. Lift your head and chest up. Squeeze your shoulders towards the sky. And exhale, release. Good. You can keep doing it like that if you prefer. But the next one, I'm going to give you the option to put a little weight into your hands. Remembering that when we do that, there's a tendency for our shoulders to come up towards our ears and to pitch forward. But instead, and I'll remind you of this when we're up there, we want our shoulders to roll back and to relax away from our ears. Easier said than done, so do your best. Okay, bring your forehead to the mat. Press the tops of your feet firmly down. Bring a little space between your fingers. Grip the ground with your finger pads and inhale, lift up. Roll your shoulders back. Let them release away from your ears. Look forward. Exhale, lower back down. Good news is we just have one more of those today. All right, make your legs strong. Roll your shoulders towards the sky. Grip the ground with your finger pads. Inhale, lift up. Again, roll your shoulders back. Release your shoulders away from your ears. Look forward. And exhale. Release all the way back down. Good. Curl your toes under, tone your belly, press up to tabletop. Adjust your hands again. Make sure that your wrist crease lines up with the front edge of your mat, that you've got some space between your fingers. Walk your knees back behind your hips a little bit. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips, but keep your knees bent. Press your hands down and forward like we did for child's pose. Press your chest and belly back towards your thighs. With that big stretch through the back of your body, you can stay here or maybe straighten your legs if you can keep that length through the back of your body. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Lower your knees to the mat. Now, grab your blocks. Walk your blocks over to the left. Swing your right leg around. Walk your blocks back to the front of your mat. Lift your back left knee. Watch your blanket. Take as many steps as you need to step your left foot forward. And then with the blocks out in front of you, fold. As always, bend your knees if the backs of your legs are feeling tight. Release your head and neck down. Then inhale, lengthen your spine. And here, remember, we don't want to jam our knees back. So keep your legs strong. And if you need to keep that bend in your knees to ensure that doesn't happen, that's fine too. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, and pause. Bring your hands to your waist. Roll your shoulders towards the sky. Press into your legs to lift you up. Reach your arms up. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Okay, inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees if the backs of your legs are feeling tight. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Once more, inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. This time, inhale, half lift and pause. Bring your hands to your waist. Roll your shoulders towards the sky. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. Press into your legs to lift you all the way up. Sweep your arms up. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. All right, awesome. Let's review some of the standing poses that we've covered over the last few classes together. Just taking my props off to the side. Okay, and then step your feet wide. Setting up for warrior two. Remembering that in these wide positions, so I've turned towards the long edge of my mat so my feet can stay on the mat. For these wide stance poses, we want to spread our arms out and ensure that our ankles are about underneath our wrists. And remember that if you want more stability, you can walk your feet closer in together. All right, now lift your chest. Turn your right toes out 90 degrees. Make sure that your left foot is parallel to that short edge of your mat. Then bend your right knee. Remembering to look down at your right knee. If your right knee is in front of your right ankle, just shift your weight back. Good. Then widen your right knee a little bit so that your right knee points more towards your second and third toe. It's a safer position for your knee. It says warrior two. Lift your heart, roll your shoulders down your back. Go over your right fingertips. Nice. Straighten your right leg. Turn your right toes in. Make sure your right foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Turn your left toes out. Lift your heart. Bend your left knee. Glance down at your left knee. Make sure that it's not in front of your left ankle. And then widen your left knee to the left so that it points more towards your second and third toe. Another way is so that you can see your second and third toe if that makes it a little easier to access the action. Tone your belly, lift your chest, relax your shoulders. Straighten your left leg, turn your left toes in, release your arms, walk your feet back together, and shake it all out. Okay. Find your Tadasana. Remember, feet hip width distance or wider. Press all three corners of your feet firmly into the mat so that The ball of your foot underneath your big toe, the ball of your foot underneath your pinky toe and your heel. Both feet press down. Lift your kneecaps up to tone your thighs. Pull your belly in. Lift your heart. Good. Take your arms out to the sides. Roll your shoulders open so your palms point towards the sky. Reach your arms up. Now, stretch up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and side bend over to the right. Good. Roll your bottom right shoulder forward. Lift your heart. One more breath. Inhale to center. Exhale, release back down. Shake your arms out. All right. Again, take your arms out like a T. Press down through your feet. Roll your shoulders open to turn your palms to the sky. Reach up. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Stretch up and side bend over to the left. Roll your bottom left shoulder forward. Lift your heart. Stretch. Good. Inhale to center. And exhale. Release back down and shake it out. Okay. Let's do warrior 2 to side angle pose. So step your feet wide. Spread your arms. Find your good stance here. Turn your right toes out 90 degrees. Ensure that your left foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Bend your right knee. Make sure that your right knee is not in front of your right ankle and widen your left knee to the right so that it points more towards your second and third toe. Then take your right forearm to your right thigh. Bring your left hand to your left hip to start. Remember, we don't want to collapse here into our right shoulder. So lift your chest, roll your top shoulder back, then take your arm out to the side, roll it open, sweep your arm overhead, just like we did in that crescent side stretch. Reach out through your left fingertips. Beautiful. Inhale to center. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Make sure that your right foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Bend your left knee. Look down at your left knee. Make sure it's over your left ankle. Widen your left knee to the left. Again, so that it points more towards your second and third toe. This is warrior 2. For side angle pose, bring your left forearm to your left thigh. Take your right hand to your hip to start. Lift your chest. Roll your top right shoulder back. Take your right arm out to the side. Roll your right arm open. And reach your right arm alongside your ear. Good. Now stretch out through your right fingertips. Great. Come all the way up. Turn your left toes in. Release your arms. Walk your feet back together and shake your legs out. Okay, in the last class, we looked at Warrior 1. So today, I'm going to show you a different way to get into Warrior 1. And this way to enter Warrior 1 will likely mean that you're a little bit deeper into the pose. So I want to go ahead and warn you right off the bat, and I'll give you some ways to bring more stability to the pose with this wider stance. And please know, and I'll remind you that if you need to shorten your stance, you always have that option. Okay, step your feet wide. Okay, this is a little different foot position here. Turn your right toes out 90 degrees like we've been doing. Now this time, turn your back left foot in a bunch so that it points out at about 45 degree angle. Now, the way we get into this can feel pretty unstable. So I'll show you from the side. You can just watch. I turn my right foot in and my left foot out. And so my right heel and my left heel are in like one nice long line. When I do that again, that's not a super stable position. So if you're feeling like you're really off balance or you just want more stability, step your left foot wider to the left so that you've widened your stance and you will find more stability with this foot position. All right, so let's do it again. Step your feet wide. Turn your right foot out 90 degrees. Turn your left foot in 45 degrees. Again, this is that narrow stance. So if you want more stability, step your left foot wider to the left. Find that position that feels good for you. If this narrow stance feels good, then you can certainly stay there. Squeeze your legs strong. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Turn your shoulders towards the front of your mat or towards your right foot, and then bend your right knee. Good. Release your arms down. Take your arms out to the sides. Roll your shoulders open, palms up. Reach your arms up. Sit deep. This is Warrior 1. Beautiful. Release your arms, straighten your right leg, turn your right foot in, walk your feet back together and shake your legs out. Excellent. Okay, so second side, step your feet wide. Turn your left toes out 90 degrees. Turn your right foot in about 45. Go slow. Then step your right foot wider to the right if you want more stability. Okay, then squeeze your legs strong, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Turn your shoulders towards your left foot so they point towards the back edge of your mat. Then bend your left knee. Take your arms out. Roll your palms open by rolling from your shoulders, so lift your heart. Reach your arms to the sky. Beautiful. Release your arms down, straighten your leg, turn your toes in, walk your feet back together, and shake your legs out. Okay, let's review Warrior 3. So turn towards your wall or your chair, something that you can hold on to. Bring your fingertips to your wall or your countertop or chair. Stand up tall. Squeeze your legs. Press down through all three corners of your feet. Take your right foot back behind you. You can always stop there. Or maybe lift your right foot off the mat. You can stay there. You can keep your hands at your support or take your arms wide. Roll your shoulders open. Reach them up. Maybe lean forward a little bit. Beautiful. Come all the way up. Lower your arms down and shake it out. Super. Let's do the second side. Take your fingertips to the wall or to your chair. Take your left toes back behind you. You can stay here. Or lift your left foot off the mat. You could stay there. Maybe spread your arms wide. Feeling free to stop at any point. Maybe roll your shoulders open, palms up, reach up, maybe lean forward a little bit. Good. Come up, release your arms down, and shake your legs out. Okay, we're going to put a couple things together from what we did last week and that Warrior 3 position. Okay, so stand at the front of your mat, and I'm going to give you some options, and definitely feel free to stop at any point along the way. All right. Stand with your feet hip-width distance. Press down through your feet so your legs start strong. Then take a step back with your right foot. We're going to do our shorter Warrior 1 stance. Okay? Now, bend your left knee. Make sure your left knee is over your left ankle. Did this last week. Take your arms out to the side. Roll your shoulders open. Reach your arms up. Good. You can stay here. It's option 1. Option 2, lean forward. You're going to feel your core engage when you do that, and the muscles in your left leg will fire up. You can stay here, or maybe shift your weight to your left leg and lift your right leg up for Warrior 3. Beautiful. Come all the way to standing. Release your arms and shake it out. Nice job. You can also do this kind of close to your chair, close to your wall, if you want to have that like as a safety net in case you need to reach out and grab it. I should have said that the first time. I apologize. All right. Take a step back with your left foot. Bend your right knee. Again, make sure your right knee is over your right ankle. Then take your arms out to the sides. Roll your shoulders open, palms up. Reach your arms up. You can stay here. It's option 1. Option 2, lean forward. You're going to feel your right thigh muscles engage or core engage. You can stay here, or slowly shift your weight to your right leg and lift your left leg up. Beautiful. Come all the way up. Release your arms down and shake it out. Very nice job. Okay. Grab your blocks. Place your blocks on either sides of your feet. We're still standing at the front of our mat, or at one edge of your mat. And with our feet in Tadasana, so feet hip-width distance. Now, again, like we're setting up for Warrior 1, take a step back with your right leg. But this time we're going to keep our front leg straight. Now, press down through your feet, squeeze your thighs towards each other, lift your heart, hinge at your hips. Lowering halfway down, you can bring your hands to your front left thigh, or maybe release your hands down to your blocks. If you don't have blocks and have a chair, you could also bring your hands down to the seat of the chair. Again, squeeze your thighs towards each other. You can keep your spine nice and long and lengthened, or bend your elbows and fold forward to any degree. This is called pyramid pose, or Sanskrit is Parshvottanasana. Good. Lengthen your spine. Step your right foot forward to meet your left leg. Bring your hands to your waist. Roll your shoulders towards the sky. Press into your legs to come all the way up to standing. Excellent. Okay, let's do the second side. That big stretch to the back of your leg. You probably felt that. Okay, take a step back with your left foot. Lift your chest. Squeeze your thighs towards each other. Then begin to hinge at your hips. Maybe bring your hand to your right thigh or lower it down to your blocks. Again, press your feet firmly into the mat. Squeeze your thighs towards each other. You can stay upright, or half lifted, I should say, or fold forward. And breathe. Good. Step your left foot forward. Bring your hands to your waist. Roll your shoulders towards the sky. Press into your legs to come all the way up to standing. All right, we're going to add one more pose, one more standing pose today. Let's go back to our wall or our support. And this is a pose called dancer's pose, and it is a stretch for the fronts of the legs for the thighs. Okay, so take your left fingertips to the wall or to the back of your chair and bend your right knee, grab your right foot. Now, if it's challenging for you to grab your foot like this, you can grab, if you have a strap or a belt, you can just wrap it around your foot, or even like a small dish towel, just wrap it around your foot and hold on to that, like a sling around your foot. That'll work just as well. All right, so once you've got that, stand up tall. Squeeze your right knee in towards your left knee and move your right knee back a little bit. You can even glance down to make sure that your knees are in line with each other. And to any degree, pull your right heel towards your right hip. Lift your chest. Nice, release. Switch sides, take your right hand to the wall or your chair back. Bend your left knee. Feel free to lasso it with your towel or your strap, or hold it with your hand. Pull your left knee in towards your right knee, so you're squeezing in towards the middle of your pose, your midline. And move your left knee back so that your knees are in line with each other as you pull your heel to any degree towards your hip. All right, release. Okay, we're going to do that just one more time. You can do it exactly the same way, or I'm going to ask you to step a little bit further away from the wall, and we'll add a little variation. It'll just change it might change how the stretch feels in your body. Okay, so stand a little bit back from the wall so that your fingertips just graze the wall. Then bend your right knee. Again, you can do this this next version with your strap or your foot wrapped with a towel too. Stand up tall and then begin to lean forward. If you're using the wall, bend your left elbow and then kick your right foot away from you. Good. If you want to challenge your balance, maybe crawl your left fingertips up the wall, or maybe release your left hand from the wall and stretch it alongside your ear. Great. Come all the way up. Release your leg down. Shake it out. One more side. Take your right fingertips to the wall. Bend your left knee. Then begin to bend your right elbow as you lean forward, and then kick your left foot back into your left hand. You can stay here, crawl your right fingertips up the wall, or maybe hover your right hand off the wall. This is dancer's pose. Great. Come all the way up, shake your legs out. Very nice job. All right, come back to the front of your mat. Setting up my blocks so they're there when I fold forward. Tadasana. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, lowering your hands down to your blocks. You can bend your knees. Inhale, half lift. And then as you exhale, walk your feet back and lower your knees to the mat. Okay, take your blocks off to the sides. If you need to set up your blanket for your knees, please feel free. Okay, going to do one more downward facing dog. So line your wrist creases up with the front edge of your mat. Line your middle finger up with your outer shoulder and bring some space between your fingers. Grip the ground with your fingertips so your hands have good strong contact with the mat. Walk your knees back behind your hips. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up. Keep your knees bent. Press your hands down and forward to bring your chest and belly back toward your thighs. You can keep your knees bent or begin to straighten your legs. Again, press firmly down into your hands to reach your hips high to the sky. One more breath. Beautiful. Lower your knees back to your blanket or to the mat, and then find your child's pose. Bring your hips to your heels. Your forehead can rest on the mat or on a block. And remember, your knees can be close together, or you could spread them wide. Walk your hands in, lift your chest up, shift your hips to one side, swing your legs around and come to seated. Now, fold your blanket back up so that you can sit on it. Again, sit with your hips on the blanket, your legs in front of the blanket, and bring the soles of your feet together and your knees wide. You can adjust here, taking your feet further away or closer in to find a position that feels nice in your legs. And sit up nice and tall, roll your shoulders back. Press your heels against each other. You can stay upright, this may be enough, or fold forward, lowering your chest down towards your feet. Inhale, come back up to center. Keep your right leg folded in, straighten your left leg. Point your left toes up to the sky. Reach your arms up, stretch up, hinge at your hips, pull your belly back, reach forward to fold, and then grab whatever you can. That might be your shin or the floor or your foot, and relax your head and neck down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release, and switch sides. Fold your left leg in, straighten your right leg, point your right toes to the sky. Reach up, stretch up, pull your belly back, reach forward, and fold. Grab whatever you can. Shin, the floor, your foot. Release your head and neck down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release, straighten both legs. Okay, now sweep both legs over to the left side. And when I do that, my top leg, my shin, is in the bottom of my right foot. I'll turn to the side so you can see what that looks like. Okay, top leg, the shin, in the bottom of my right foot. Okay, now I'm going to twist, but I'm going to twist away from my feet. So take your right hand behind you and your left hand to your right thigh. Sit up tall. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, untwist. Straighten your legs and then sweep them over to the right side so that your top right shin rests in the bottom of your left foot. All right, now let's twist away from our feet, so to the left. Take your left hand behind you and your right hand towards your left leg. Sit up tall, twist. You can look over your left shoulder. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, untwist. All right, one more seated pose here. Straighten your legs out in front of you. Now, this pose can be pretty intense, especially if the backs of your legs are tight. So if the backs of your legs are tight, bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet to the mat, and you'll fold forward from a bent knee position. Okay? If you're going to keep your legs straight, flex your ankles, point your toes to the sky. All right, now let's all reach up, tone your belly back, hinge at your hips, and fold, releasing your hands down again to your shins or ankles, your feet or the ground. Relax your head and neck. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. All right. Let's lay down on our back. Grab your block, or you can use your blanket again. I'm going to lay down. Okay. All right. Okay, bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet flat to the mat, and let's do our supported bridge pose. Remember, you can do this with your block, or if you've got a blanket, then fold your blanket up, and whichever prop you've got, slide it underneath your hips for a supported bridge pose. Your knees can stay bent. You could also straighten your legs out in front of you along the ground, or even up to the sky. We'll be here for a couple of moments. Well, this is a good opportunity just to check in with your body, certainly. So notice how you're feeling after the practice. Make any adjustments that you need to become more comfortable, or maybe change the position of your legs. And then begin to settle your awareness back in your breath. As our practice winds down, let your breath also begin to become a little softer, a little more gentle. And again, let your breath help anchor you here in the present moment. Acknowledge the effort that you use throughout your practice. Notice the strength that you're building, the mobility that you're building in your body through the practice. Maybe even noticing if there's some areas of tightness, soreness. Get it again, acknowledging that that tightness or soreness is likely due to your effort. And just a couple more moments, a couple more breaths here. If your legs are straight, rebend your knees, bring the soles of your feet flat to the mat. Lift your hips, remove the block, lower your hips back down. Then hug your knees into your chest one final time. You can add some movement here. The happy baby pose that we did at the beginning of class felt nice. This is another good time to do it. So take the soles of your feet to the sky, holding on wherever it feels comfortable. You can add some movement there. And then when you're ready, find your resting position. Remember to find any position that will allow you to rest. Use any props that you like. Let your breath continue to soften. Consciously release any lingering effort or tension in your body. And for the next few moments, just rest. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. You can bring small movements back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes or roll your wrists and ankles. Feel free to stretch your arms alongside your ears for a full body stretch. Bend your knees. Roll to one side. Press yourself up to seated. As always, take the time, set your blanket up so you can sit a little more comfortably. Sit up nice and tall, lift your heart, bring your palms together in Anjali Mudra. We'll end with our invocation of peace. When we say together, Om Shanti, 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 we're asking for peace for ourselves, for our family and our community, and for the world as a whole. So take a deep breath in with me. And together we say Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Begin to rub your palms together, generating some heat between them. Gently cup your palms over your eyes. Blink your eyes open and release your hands down. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me.